Hey viewers and friends, Andrew back at you with my first video for the year 2013, and I'm going to be reviewing a really recent Australian horror movie called REDD. This movie came out late last year, so I think it came out in 2012, and I think it came out about October or November, so it's extremely recent. And I'd actually never heard of this movie before. I didn't even know this movie existed until about a week and a half ago. One of my friends on here, Jarrett, he sent me through a bunch of movies that he was looking to sell. This was one of them. The title intrigued me. I'd never heard of it before, so I looked it up. It sounded really good, and it was Australian, and I was even more keen to check it out. And yeah, I've just finished watching it and wanted to post my review pretty immediately while it's fairly fresh in my mind. So the story behind REDD is it centres around a group of 6 people. They're being held captive in an abandoned office block. They're chained to a desk, and they're being held there against their will, obviously, by a convicted serial killer. Now basically it's the 6 people's task to go through the serial killer's case and basically try and go through it and prove his innocence, or basically revoke him from being guilty, pretty much. So that is the main part of the storyline. There's a lot more to it than that, and as the movie goes on, if the killer gets pissed off or one of the captive people do something wrong, they get a written warning, which is basically a cut on their forehead. If they reach 5 written warnings or cuts on the forehead, they get killed. So that is essentially the main gist of what happens in the movie. There's a few twists and turns throughout, especially towards the end of the movie, but obviously I'm not going to spoil anything. Now, what did I think of this movie? Obviously, having never heard of the movie before, having never heard people's opinions on the movie, I went in completely fresh, and I thought it was a really, really solid and very well done and good movie. I had a lot of fun with it and enjoyed it a lot. This is first time director David Cridge, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. He's done a few short movies in the past, but this was his first full feature length movie, and I think he did an incredible job with that. He also starred in the movie. He was one of the 6 captives in the movie, one of them. And he wasn't in the movie for too long, but he played his character pretty well. All the rest of the cast I thought were really, really good. They were a mixture of UK and Australian actors and actresses. The main character, or the main actress, Annabelle, she was phenomenal. She's a young Australian actress, and I've never actually heard of her or seen her in anything before, but she immediately reminded me of Danielle Harris, very similar in looks, and yeah, just instantly reminded me of her. But yeah, she was fantastic in this one, definitely stole the show, and she done an absolutely terrific job with her role. So I really hope to see her in future movies. I think she's got a lot of potential. This one also starred Tom Savini, just in a really brief sort of 2-minute cameo, and Tom Savini was also involved with the special effects and makeup. He was the supervisor. And speaking of the special effects, they were so well done in this movie. I was thoroughly impressed. Great gore effects, great special effects, really nasty, gory, bloody and brutal, really violent. Some of them were kind of hard to watch in parts. I was cringing and looking away from the screen during some of the gore sequences, but yeah, absolutely fantastic. That's pretty much all I'm really wanting to talk about in this movie. I thought it was really, really good, and I definitely recommend it, especially if you're wanting something slightly different in terms of a modern horror movie. It's really hard to categorize this one. There were slasher elements, but then I wouldn't call it a full-on slasher film. You had your torture elements. There was black comedy or dark humour thrown in throughout the movie. Not excessively, but just enough to sort of break things up a little bit, and they were really, really well done. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a very, very well done movie, and I definitely wanted to post my review up and expose this movie a little bit more, because I'm sure most of you have probably never even heard of this one before. So for an overall score, I'm going to give Red Ink a 3 out of 5. Really, really solid movie, and I highly, highly recommend it. So as I said, if you're looking for something a little bit different and unique in terms of a modern horror movie, definitely check this one out. 3 out of 5 from me. So yeah, another great Australian horror movie to add to the list. Australia I'm pretty proud of in terms of modern horror. We're bringing out some really, really good stuff. So this is another one to add to the list, Red Ink. So yeah, that has been my review of Red Ink. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and thanks a lot for watching.